What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Max Muncy hit 2 home runs in a pretty epic game against the Twins yesterday. Aaron Judge, he was apparently cheating according to the Blue Jays broadcaster, or at least that's what they were implying, so we'll talk about that later on. Ohtani, he was on the bump in Baltimore, but he was also on Psycho Watch inside the batter's box, and Nolan Arenado, he is back and better than ever. He has a home run in 4 consecutive games. Remember, everyone, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy, and remember to hit that subscribe button because we're inching ever so closely to 500,000 subs. Now, real quick, before we get into the Dodger game, we have to talk about a former Dodger and Cody Bellinger. He made an insane grab in center field against the Astros, but his knee kind of buckled underneath him on the way down. Reports are that everything is structurally okay, but he did come out the game. I just wanted to update all of you Cubs fans because Cody Bellinger is having a monster year. That's an insane catch, and he looked a little shaken up, but he's going to be all right. Now, let's get into the Dodgers and Twins game from last night. I don't think the Twins are full-blown regretting that Pablo Lopez extension just yet, but man, he has been bad lately. Will Smith and Max Muncy, they both hit home runs in the first. Smith, by the way, is hitting .323 with 7 home runs. Max Muncy now has 13 home runs. Scratch that. Muncy now has 14 home runs. He has 15 extra base hits in 2023. 14 of them have been via the home run. He is now #1 yet again in all of Major League Baseball. Minnesota fought back a little, but Freddie Freeman's RBI double in the 7th made it 6-3. He put this game out of... Okay, don't tell that to Trevor Larnach. He quietly has 26 RBIs and a near .350 on base percentage with 7 RBIs over his last 2 games. Both the Twins and the Dodgers ended up trading runs deep into the 12th inning when Trayce Thompson, he finally ended things on a bases-loaded walk, and good thing that he took the walk because he is 0 for his last 27 with 17 strikeouts. So if he actually swung, he probably would have got out. Moving on to another game that was settled with a 9-8 box score. We have the Rockies and the Reds. Colorado, I guess I'll just spoil it right now. Colorado spoiled Matt McLain's debut. They narrowly beat the Cincinnati Reds at Coors. Mike Moustakas, I keep forgetting that he still exists. He has 2 home runs and an 87 OPS plus, so I mean, kind of easy to forget. Chuck Nasty, his triple right after made it 4-1. Blackman has 13 extra base hits and an almost .380 on base percentage. I hope that he gets moved to a winning team because I want to see him in the playoffs. And Colorado, they can afford it because they have young guys like Zach Veen, Nolan Jones. They're all waiting in the minors, and this kid helps out as well. Brenton Doyle hit a 2-run home run in the 4th, and then a long 441-foot blast in the 8th inning. In 17 games, he has 4 home runs, 6 stolen bases, and 2 outs above average in center field. The dude is a freak. All right, here we go. The Angels and the Orioles. For the second time this year, Ohtani just missed a cycle in the same game that he was on the bump. Unfortunately, in both of those games, he got rocked for 4 or 5 earned runs, and maybe he needs to stop calling his own pitches or something like that. Now, Ohtani did get some help from Gio Urshela with an RBI double in the 3rd, which was immediately negated by Anthony Santander, but it's all good because the catcher-pitcher battery, that duo, they delivered in the batter's box. Catcher Chad Wahleke connected for his 3rd home run. He's hitting .314 over his first 11 games this year, which is wild considering he had a 53 OPS plus since 2017, so I don't think it's going to last that long, but Angels fans will take it nonetheless, and there's the Sweet Prince yet again. Ohtani, he went perfect off of Grayson Rodriguez, his 9th home run of the season. He also has 29 RBIs and 6 stolen bases. Yes, he gave up a bomb to Cedric Mullins with little man in attendance, but again, at least he makes up for his mistakes with some offense. Ohtani got on base 5 times. He just barely missed a cycle. All he needed was a double. He got a single in the final innings instead. So the Angels win 9-5. All of that on Grayson Rodriguez, who might get sent down. Texas fans were excited to hopefully see a W in rookie Cody Bradford's first ever start. He's a homegrown prospect, so they love this guy. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Kevin Pillar, he has found the fountain of youth in Atlanta. He has 5 home runs and a 122 OPS plus at the ripe age of 34 years old. There's Ronald with another 460-foot demolition job home run. He's on pace for a 35-60 season. That is 35 home runs, 60 stolen bases. Just throwing that out there. We had some more RBI doubles, which was actually kind of lame considering the Braves' home run streak got ruined. After that, Orlando Arcia, he clubbed a 2-run home run. Austin Riley, he did the same. And Ozuna of the Braves, he got one as well. Atlanta, they popped off for 5 multi-RBI home runs versus the hapless Texas Rangers. To be honest, this was a punt game all the way, in my opinion. I don't think that Cody Bradford had a chance at all. If you you thought that the Braves game was a lot of scoring, wait until you see what the Cardinals did in St. Louis. Nolan Arenado, again, he is all the way back. That 3-run tater gives him a home run in 4 straight games. He has 4 home runs and 12 RBIs over his last 6 games. He's hitting .320 with 5 home runs since I did the reverse jinx with a title basically asking if he was washed or not. You're welcome, St. Louis. Pleasure doing business with you guys. Goldie had an RBI double and a single right after that. And then the other Nolan, he matched those 2 RBIs with a 2-run double in the 6th. All of that scoring was for Jack Flaherty, who struck out 10 hitters Brewers over 7 shutout innings. He only allowed 2 walks on 3 base hits. So nothing but good signs in St. Louis. And then St. Louis ripped the Band-Aid off again in the 8th with Tommy Edman hitting his 6th home run. And there's the kid, Nolan Gorman, with a 3-run home run. He has 10 home runs, 33 RBIs. He leads the National League in slugging. He just turned 23 years old a couple days ago. Andrew Kisner, he found himself lucky enough to have the bases loaded with an outfielder on the bump. As expected, he hits a grand slam as the Cardinals win 18-1. St. Louis has won 4 in a row now, and they're just 6.5 games back of first place after everyone in that division pretty much fell off a cliff the last week and a half. The double-digit scoring doesn't stop there. We head to Fenway, where Boston got their bells rung. George Kirby and Tanner Houck, they were both nasty through 5 innings. When Cal Raleigh, he turned into prime Jorge Posada or Jason Varitek, whoever you want to call him. Cal Raleigh hit a big boy 440-foot 2-run nuke in the 5th inning, then switched sides and hit another 2-run home run from the other side. He's the first catcher in Fenway history to have a home run from both sides. Not Posada, not Varitek, not Victor Martinez. Cal Raleigh, the first catcher, switch hitting catcher to ever do that. George Kirby, he was sick yet again. 6 strikeouts over 6 2/3, only allowed 1 run on a double to Rafael Devers. Now, just like the Cardinals did, the Mariners ripped the Band-Aid off with another avalanche of scoring. Suarez, he matched Cal with a 435-foot 2-run home run as the Mariners, they end up crossing that double-digit box score, scoring 10. They're finally back over 500. This Mariners team can be borderline stupid when the offense clicks. You have Castillo, Gilbert, Kirby, and Miller. That is a ridiculous pitching staff if you ask me. I mean, just a few days ago, rookie Bryce Miller became the first pitcher ever to only allow 8 total base runners through his first 3 starts. Let me say that one more time. 8 total base runners, that's it, over 3 starts. How is he doing that? The Nationals and the Mets, I don't know what the Mets are thinking, but they're just out there throwing games away. Why is Peterson starting? Joey Meneses, he was grateful for this opportunity. He ripped multiple RBI doubles in the first few innings, and then the wheels completely fell off for New York from there. After an error and a bases-loaded walk, Luis Garcia and former Met Dominic Smith, they singled to make it a 6-run game. CJ Abrams has quite literally used the Mets as his personal batting practice machine. He has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs in 7 games against New York this year. Joey Meneses, he legged out his 3rd RBI double of the night. He's hitting .352 with 12 RBIs over his last 13 games. The Washington Nationals are now 1.5 games back of the Mets. What did I just say? All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Yankees and the Blue Jays. Yankee fans had a field day with this one. Aaron Judge hit a home run off of Alek Manoah. There was a 0% chance that they were going to behave on Twitter. Willie Calhoun does in fact bang. He adds insult to injury with a 3-run home run. He's got 3 home runs and a near 1,000 OPS over his last 7 starts. Alek Manoah, he couldn't make it past the 4th inning as he gave up an RBI single to Higashioka and a bases-loaded walk to Aaron Judge. Anthony Rizzo, he helped out with an RBI double in the 6th. He's basically hitting .310 with 16 extra base hits and a 151 OPS plus. Now it's time to talk about some baseball propaganda. Jays broadcasters literally accused Aaron Judge of potentially using aimbot, that he was looking over to the dugout or the first base coach to get the sign relayed because Alejandro Kirk, maybe he wasn't hiding his sign as best as he could, so he was getting the sign. Aaron Judge was getting a free home run, but Judge did it again. That one almost went 470 feet. Speculating on national TV is about as bad as it gets. Aaron Judge, he responded by basically saying teammates were chirping at the umpire up 6-0. He was not looking over at the dugout to get signs. He was looking at, okay, which one of you is chirping? This is not what we're going to be doing when we're up 6-0, because he chewed them out. I mean, this is him explaining what happened.
Is there anything going on there as far as where you were looking during that time?
For when?
Right before you hit your 2nd home run of the game.
You know, I like Boone sticking up for me, and he always does. But I feel like after the manager does his thing, it's like, fellas, like, you know, our pitcher still got to go out there and make some pitches. Like, let's, you know, we got the lead. Let's just go to work here. So it kind of I said a couple things to some guys in the dugout, and especially after the game. But
listen, even if Aaron Judge was getting signs from the first base coach or his teammates in the dugout, that's Alejandro Kirk's fault. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. I'm not defending cheaters or anything because I do not do that. But if you're willingly showing the signs to the opposing team, yeah, they're going to steal the signs every single time. That's not using technology. That's been in baseball since the beginning. So for me, a baseball fan, I would probably tell the Jays broadcast team, who is actually very highly respected, to probably pump the brakes a little bit because Aaron Judge, the reigning MVP, he doesn't need help. Am I reading this right? The Phillies starting pitcher Bailey Falter is now 0-7 after this horrible last start against the Giants. And if I'm looking at the box score correctly, they're basically saying that none of it was his fault. He gave up 6 runs on the day, but 0 of them were earned. I guess some errors allowed San Francisco to get base runners on, and the Giants did not hold back. Conforto, he went lefty-lefty for a huge go-ahead 3-run home run. He has 8 home runs on the year and only 1 strikeout over his last 4 games. That's huge for him because he has been a strikeout machine. Mitch Haniger and Brandon Crawford, they both singled in an RBI to make it a 6 spot, and yeah, that's pretty much the game. Camilo Duvall, he struck out 2 in a 4-out save. He has 9 saves and a near 13 strikeouts per 9 on the season as the Giants beat the Phillies 6-3. The Diamondbacks and the A's, I might have a new favorite random player. Geraldo Perdomo is no joke. Mickey Mantle when runners are on base. He's hitting .341 with 3 home runs and 20 RBIs on the season, which is already insane. I forgot that he was that good to begin the season. But the cherry on top, where he becomes Mickey Mantle, he's hitting .465 with runners in scoring position. Every single home run that he's hit this year has been with runners in scoring position. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he can go on streaks that not many can match, and right now, he's on one of them hot streaks. The dude is hitting a blistering .405 with 5 home runs and 10 RBIs over his last 10 starts. Merrill Kelly, he handled the rest from there. He shut down the legendary 2023 A's, legendary for all the wrong reasons. 9 punchies over 7 innings. He allowed just 1 earned run. The Arizona Diamondbacks are 2nd in baseball in batting average. They're 7th in OPS, but as a pitching staff, they're 23rd in team ERA. So if they can get one more ace level pitcher, it's going to be over. The Diamondbacks are setting themselves up to be an Astros 2.0 kind of team. Speaking of the Astros, they had their hands full with the Cubs yesterday. Well, at first it was smooth sailing because Jose Abreu, he was blessed by the baseball gods after a 2-run double was given to him after Christopher Morel turned in one of the worst routes I've ever seen from an outfielder. Jeremy Pena and McCormick made it a 4 spot off of Jameson Taillon, who has been an unmitigated disaster. $14 million and a near 7 ERA on the season. Lucky for Taillon, his left fielder made it for that backpedaling nightmare in the first inning. He socked a 3-run home run in the 4th. Christopher Morel now has 4 home runs in 6 games. Houston's bullpen, they stepped up after Framber Valdez left, combining for 5 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts. Bregman, he lifted off with a go-ahead 2-run home run off of Michael Fulmer, who has also been a terrible free agent move. He has a 7.5 ERA as the Cubs got locked up by Hector Neris, who struck out 2. He has 9 saves on the year as the Astros beat the Cubs 6-4. The San Diego Padres and the Kansas City Royals, Fernando Tatis Jr. got on base a few times early. He scored on a wild pitch after singling to start off the bottom half of the first and then grabbed another single in the second, this time with a runner on. He's top 6 already in F-WAR for right fielders, even though he missed 20 plus games. He has 10 extra base hits, 12 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases while playing Gold Glove defense at a brand new position. Michael Wacha has been on an absolute tear over the last few weeks, and I keep forgetting that he's a huge human. He's 6'6", so the 6'6" former St. Louis star struck out 11 over 7 scoreless. He only allowed just 1 hit against a red-hot Kansas City offense. He's given up just 1 run over his last 19 innings. San Diego honestly might be 5 games under 500 if it wasn't for his contributions over the last few weeks. The Padres improved to 20-22, which again puts them in a conversation about underperforming teams. Some teams like the Cardinals, the Phillies, the Mets, the Mariners. Heck, I'll even throw in the White Sox because I thought that they were going to be a little bit better. All of them are below 500, but some of them have been playing better as of late, aka the Cardinals, who have won 4 in a row. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go ahead and roll the web gems in just a second, but that does it for all the games from yesterday. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and enjoy the gems.
Line drive. Oh, what a catch by Volpe.
He's just on the other side of the bag and then moves and jumps.
Here's Noda off his glove. And a beautiful feed.
Of a Mark Burley play on opening day.
Strikeout. Liner leaping up.
Just, yeah.
Jimmer Candelario hits one past the mound. Lindor with the spinorama on target to Canna.
Pitchers. Into center, Mullins coming on late break and a great catch.
Harper and a bouncing ball up the middle. Schmidt's going to get down. He's going to juggle. He's going to throw. And they got it.